Thank you for taking the time to watch this demonstration of QuoteCenter. QuoteCenter is an application that allows us to get real-time news, streaming quotes, understand what's happening with sectors, industry groups, and also be able to identify changes and trends in the market. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started and look at the presentation today. First off, what we need to do is actually cover a disclaimer. These workshops instruct you on using MetaStock and accompanying software plugins and are not a recommendation to buy or to sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using the specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented at the workshop should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Equus shall have no liability for any investment decision based on the use of their software, trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about where QuoteCenter comes from. As I mentioned before, QuoteCenter is a program that gives us real-time news, streaming quotes, and gives us a lot of information that we're going to go into today. QuoteCenter actually comes to us from Reuters. Reuters is actually the parent company of Equus International. And basically the goal of Reuters is actually, one, people know Reuters for their news. It's incredibly fast, accurate, and very reliable. But what you may not know is they're also very well known for providing real-time data out to the institutional space. And now we're able to provide it into the retail space, for the non-professional investor. This is actually what QuoteCenter is all about. Real-time, very accurate, and very good information. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to talk about what QuoteCenter offers. MarketWatch, first off, which is the first thing we're actually going to talk about today, offers over 700 different data fields of information, and this is data that's streaming into the program. The next thing we're going to talk about is real-time Reuters news. Fundamental information, we give you 23 years of fundamental data. You get charting and analysis tools within QuoteCenter. You get real-time data for stocks, futures, forex, options, indexes. Of course, mutual funds aren't real-time, but that data is provided as well. And then we have worldwide data options. You can get data for just about anywhere in the world. So let's talk about some of the different things within QuoteCenter and what you're going to see as we go through the presentation. First off, we see here Front Page. And Front Page is actually a program that is designed to give you real-time updated news. So you can actually get streaming news. You're going to be able to see stories based off of different categories. And we'll go through these in a few moments. All these different sections and strategies. We'll be talking about MarketWatch, which is the program that offers us 700 different data fields of information. Analytics, which helps us look at sectors and industry groups, help us understand the technicals of stocks and what's happening behind them. Also get our fundamental information. Athena is actually where we're going to get our charting and analytics. And Newswatch is going to be our streaming news, as we can watch each story come in throughout the day. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into QuoteCenter and walk through the program just a little bit. Okay, so as I'm here in QuoteCenter, we're going to start off with Front Page. And Front Page, again, is where we're going to see categorical news. So you can see across the top here we have Front Page, which is what we're looking at right now, which gives us top news, what's happening right now. So you can see here these stories. You can click on any of the stories, get the full news story, so we can know what's happening behind that story, which is something that's very nice because you don't always get the full news story with some of the different news productions. You only get just the headlines. Okay, so we can actually go through and break it into whatever category we want. And that was actually me clicking on fixed income. Okay, so I can go to health, commodity and energy news. Commodity and energy news is one of the big highlights of Reuters. If you're trading commodities or energy and you're trading news, Reuters beats the market 7 out of 10 times for that. So if you're getting and you're trading off of news, this is going to be indispensable for you. Up here you can go into foreign exchange if you're trading just currency pairs. This is really good information for you. It also gives you feedback. It gives you all these different things on here. Okay. I can come up here and click on U.S. equity news. If you want to know what earnings reports are coming up, what's happening in different sectors, what's happening with earnings, you can come in here and just go into all these different categories and get all these news releases. Let's say I want to see non-farm payroll. I can come in here and see that information. I want to see what's happening with earnings calendars. Let's see what's coming up with earnings. So we can go in here and I can see all the different earnings that are coming up. Okay, what their estimates are, how many different estimates there are, what their earnings were a year ago. Okay, so all this is available just by clicking a button for you. Okay, so that's kind of just a quick overview of Front Page. Front Page is really designed to help you just see that quick categorical news. And we'll get more into news in a few moments. But next, let's jump over into MarketWatch. And MarketWatch is kind of the heart and core of QuoteCenter, giving you real-time streaming quotes, as you can see here. We're actually looking at a live market right now, recorded, obviously, for you. But what you can see here are a couple things. First off, to the side here, you're going to notice, first off, we have our symbol. And then you're also going to notice these different letters over here. And I'm just going to come up here to help really quick and hit Indicator Legend. Okay, these are actually all the different things that will highlight on over here in this news as you're going through it. So if I see N, that means we have news. Let me just scroll down a little bit over here. So you can see a G here. That means that we had a gap on that stock. If I pull this indicator legend up again, you can see the G for gap. And so you can have all these different things. Okay, so if I click on that, first off, I can actually get all the news for that particular stock. Okay, I clicked on Microsoft, so this is all the up-to-date news for Microsoft coming in right here. Okay, now, so as we move through this, again, we have symbol, we have our last sale, we have all these different categories, net, percent change, 3-month percent change, and I can rank on any of these categories. Okay, so I can see right here, so right now the top percent change is 1.9%. But what you actually see here is we'll see over here fundamental information as well. But there's actually over 700 different data fields of information here. So if I actually come in here and go template edit, these are all the different data categories that I can actually add in to my MarketWatch. Now, 700 different data fields of information can be a bit overwhelming. But the thing is if you're looking for a bit of information, it's probably located in here. If you're not going to use all this information, it's just going to be something that's going to be available to you. So for example, let's say I wanted alerts for gaps. Let's put gap in here and let's find. So I put gapped, and I'm just going to double click this to add it up here. And I'm just going to drag it kind of up to the top so I can see it. I'll hit OK. So now you can see this gapped, and it'll give me those alerts for gapped. Okay, I didn't have any examples of that, so I didn't get any results. So let's go ahead and move on here. I'll just kind of delete that one out for now. Now, one of the nice things about this is you can actually look at just about anything that you want. So I'm going to right-click here, and I'm going to go to Symbol List and go Load. So we'll have a number of different symbol lists built in here for you. Right now I'm looking at the NASDAQ 100. Let's say I wanted to look at the S&P 100. Okay, so you can see here that it actually brought that right up and brings it streaming. Now you can actually look at up to 500 symbols in here, which is actually really nice because a lot of times a lot of our competitors will only offer you 50 to 100 symbols at a time, and we offer you the ability to do 500 at a time at no additional cost. Now, when you are working with the market, sometimes what people want to see is they want to actually know kind of what's the top things that are happening on the market. What am I missing out there? Obviously, you can go out and do different research and things and find things, but I want to know what's happening right now. What are the main things that are happening? So if I right-click and go to Load Chain here and click Real-Time Ranking Lists, it'll give me all these different ranking lists in real time. So if I click on dollar gainers, okay, boom, there's my dollar gainers. Here's my top dollar gainers going on right now. So you can actually see there's a lot more activity on here. We have gaps, we have volume, we have news, we have all kinds of different things happening on these stocks. Okay, so and I can rank on either of these. Our top dollar gainer for the day is Berkshire Hathaway with $1,000 up, 1,000 points up. Obviously, that's not one that we all jump on, but you can see in here what's going on. Now, maybe I want to know what's happening with that stock, what's driving it. So let's look. We can click and look at the news, and I can see all the different news stories. Okay, so let's say I want to see this news story. What's the full story? Well, this one's not a story. It's more, it's telling me that there's been a big share gain. What's going up? So you can actually come in here and click on any of these and see what's going on, which is very nice again because you're not getting just the headline, you're actually getting the full story. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that. And I can come over here and I can look at fundamental information. Okay, so there's a lot to this product. We can go in, we can pull up sector and industry groups, we can pull up a lot of different things and see what's happening real time with them. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this. We actually do offer training classes that you can go through on our website. This is more kind of an introduction for you. So let's jump over to our next product. And this one's actually called Athena. Athena is actually our charting package that comes within QuoteCenter. Let's go ahead and just type in a stock up here. Let's put in Microsoft. Now Microsoft, so I've got my Microsoft chart up here. What's nice about this product is you can actually quickly move around within it. Let's right click. Let's say right now I'm looking at a daily chart. Let's say I want to look at 4 different time frames. I just click on this 1x4 chart mode and it'll quickly bring me up daily, weekly, 5-minute, 15-minute. So I can see all these different time frames very quickly. If I want to turn that off, just uncheck it and I'm set. If you just want to change your one time frame, you can come back here and click on any time frame you want. Now what's great about QuoteCenter is it actually offers some of the best historical data out there. You can actually get 30 days of tick data, 1 year of 1-minute data, and up to 30 years of daily data. So you can actually get a lot of information out of here. Okay, so let's say we want to put some indicators on our chart. All I have to do is right click, come down here, and let's say I just want to throw on a moving average. Okay, or I want to throw on Bollinger Bands, my favorite Bollinger Bands. Whatever you'd like to do, you can just go in, throw it in there, some high-low bands. And there's a lot that you can just kind of go in here and play with and just add on. Okay, obviously most people are just going to add on their favorite indicators and just go through there. But I can also draw trend lines. Okay, let's come down here and let's do draw a trend line. It'll show me that I'm working with a trend line. So if I just draw from there to there, it'll add that trend line onto my chart. Okay. So the basics of Athena are right there. It's a very easy product to use, quick to draw, quick to change your time frames and move around with. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump over to our next product. Now our next product is actually called Analytics. Analytics is a program that's designed to, one, give us our 23 years of fundamental data. It'll help us understand the technicals behind a stock. This one will give us market summaries, so we can look at real-time ranking lists of best S&P groups. We can look at what the world is doing. Okay, so let's actually start off here at this market summaries. Okay, I'm just going to click on this market summaries, and you can see here we have world indices, country indices, best and worst S&P groups for the day. Let's actually just start with world indices. Let's take a look. So come in here and you can see it'll just give us a snapshot of what's happening around the world. So you have a quick view of here's what's happening in the US, here's what's happening in the East, here's what's happening in Europe. So these are quick views of what's going on. Okay, let's take a step back here. Okay, so I can go into country market summaries if I want to see what's happening. NASDAQ market summary. So I can click here, and what this gives me is you can see we have our changes for the day. Have a quick snapshot of some currency pairs. Okay, then I can see the top NASDAQ gainers and losers. Okay, so here's what's going on. Coin is up 47% today. MFBC is up 32%. ISIS up 29%. So you can come in here and get this quick look, jump over to either your charting or MarketWatch and plug it in. Let's go over and just plug in coin really quick over here on our charting. Okay, so there's coin. You can see the changes for the day. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep moving on here. Okay, so here we have our market summary for NASDAQ. We can also do the NYSE. This is my favorite one right here, best and worst S&P groups for the day. So I can just double click on that, and I can see that gold is the top S&P group for the day at being up 4.81%. Well, what I can do now, I can jump back to my MarketWatch here, go to this load chain and go to Central Systems Indices, and I go, hey, I want to see gold. What's in that gold S&P group? So there's my S&P 500 gold group. Just hit OK. And there's my stock that's making that difference. Okay? So that's just a quick way to do that. Okay, so this is a great resource. I really like this resource. Just quickly, real time, what's my change, what's happening. Okay, let's take a couple steps back here. Now these other ones, they're a bit more command driven, but they're very easy to use. So let's say I want to know kind of what the technical basis is behind coin, since we're just looking at coin. So I just type in coin/T, just like it says up here. And I just hit enter. And you'll see here that I've got some great information. I've got beta, so it's relative how volatile it is to its industry group. Okay, I can see how it's trading through the day, if it's an optionable stock, how many shares are outstanding, earnings per share. All this information is just available right there for me. So if I take a step back again, I can do the same kind of thing with fundamental information. So let's try Microsoft here. Let's look at fundamental. And what it'll do is it'll give me this snapshot here of the last few years. And I can keep going back in years as far as I want. Again, 23 years. And then it also gives me this other command up here for special dividends. So it'll also give me special dividend information. So a lot of this information is just click through, go through, and get it very quickly and make it accessible for you. Okay. Our last thing that we're just going to look at here really quick is we're going to look at what we call NewsWatch. And NewsWatch we've seen briefly when we've clicked on specific stocks, but this is actually streaming news of across the markets, whatever's happening across the markets. So as you see each story click in here, this is different things that we can see throughout the day. So you can have this streaming and watch for different news to be coming in. You can also search for certain things. Okay, I want to know really quickly what's happening. Let's look at keywords. Let's say I want to know what's happening with telecom. Okay, so I just go in and I search, and it'll pull me out everything that has telecom in it. Okay, if I want to know what's going on with a specific symbol, I can just go in and search symbols. So I can just say, let's say Home Depot. Okay, there's everything that has Home Depot in it. Okay, so I can break out my news categorically so I know what I'm looking at rather than just the whole market as well. So there's a lot of possibilities with this. Now, what I want to actually show you here to kind of bring it all together is actually some of the ways that I sometimes look at QuoteCenter. So let's go ahead and go up to File. I'm going to go to a new splitter workspace. And this is actually how you set up your watch list, your charts. You just come in here. I'm actually going to just drag this over here. And I'm going to set up myself a little workspace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in right here. I'm going to double click and add MarketWatch. I'm just going to drop the NASDAQ 100 in there and hit OK. Let's just rank that by percent change up at the top there. I'm going to drop Athena in here, which if you'll remember is our charting. And then I'm going to drop NewsWatch in here. Okay, and I'm just going to drag this over a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to come up to this chain up at the top. And I'm just going to drag this between screens. And what this does is it lets me actually link everything together. So I can come up here, and all I have to do now is click on which stock I want to look at, and it will actually bring me up all the information. It'll update my chart and update my news. Okay, let's see what's going on with Amgen. Okay, so you can come in and just see this information very quickly. Okay, research in motion. You can just walk through these and click them. Now again, if I want to see this chart in different time frames, I can just click my 1x4 chart mode. I can take it off. I can just change my time frame down here. And we can go into 5-minute, we can go into a 4-hour bar, 30-minute bar. So you can just quickly go in and change this however you want it to look for yourself and customize it. Okay, so that's one of the ways I look at QuoteCenter. You may look at it differently, but there's a lot of possibilities with it. It's not a product that's limited to how we set it up. Now, if you do want to walk into a product that's just set up for you, you can. Up at the top here, you can click Open Workspace. Let's say I want to look at this stock quote page. This is a template we already have set up for you. So all you have to do is walk in, click that button, open it up, and it'll pull up this screen. Okay, so you'll recognize this. This is our analytics. We have our charting. We have our news. Down here we actually have what's called time and sales. So you can actually see what the exact time was that that sale executed on. So if you're trading and you want to make sure that you got the best price at that time, you can come and look at this information. Okay, so there's a lot of information. Here we have level 2 available if that's something that you want to look at. Let's actually put in a stock that we may get more information rather than the Dow. So you can now really see this at work. You can see the level 2 information streaming through. You can see the time and sales streaming through. And you can go back and pull this historical information for yourself as well. So as QuoteCenter is as a product, it's one that's very, very reliable. It offers you a wealth of information. Actually here, we've actually just scratched the surface. If you go to the Equus website, there's actually a wealth of training that you can go through that actually walks you through the product and how to use it. I highly recommend going through that, but also getting in and playing with QuoteCenter yourself. You'll actually discover a lot of things that it can do. QuoteCenter North American, South American data package actually covers the US, Canada, and South America. QuoteCenter Europe, Middle East, and Africa covers those data regions. QuoteCenter Asia Pacific. QuoteCenter Worldwide Futures, which is just futures, so you can look at just about any worldwide futures market. And then also QuoteCenter FX, and which is just for the Forex market. So if you just want to look at currency pairs, you can do that. And I'll just jump over here and show you that really quick. So if I click on this QC Forex through that folder, it has a page specifically set up for just currency pairs as well. So you can come in and see how the different currency pairs are ranking through the day and look at those, chart them, and do whatever you want as well. Okay, now foreign exchange data comes with all of the other data packages. So if you have the North-South America package, you get Forex. You also get the North and South America futures. Okay, same with the Europe, Middle East, and Africa. You'll get the futures for that region. Asia Pacific, you'll get the futures for that region. But if you want to look at worldwide futures, the worldwide futures is your package there. Okay, pricing. QuoteCenter runs pretty inexpensively, $135 a month or $1,300 for the year. Now the only caveat to that is it does not actually include exchange fees. So for example, if you're trading the US market, you pay $135 a month. You'll get stocks, futures, Forex, options, all that data with it. But the $135 you'll actually need to pay exchange fees on top of, depending on what you're trading. Let's say that you're trading, for example, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and the Amex. Well, each of those are going to cost you $1 per month to access real time. And you can actually get more information on exchange fees on our website because each exchange has its own exchange fee. The only thing that does not require an exchange fee is actually the foreign exchange market. So if you were to pay the $135 and go in there and look at Forex, it would be just streaming real-time Forex data. If you were looking at stocks and you had not paid the exchange fee, it would be a 15 to 20 minute delay. So you can look at it either way that you want to. So QuoteCenter is a very reliable product, offers great news, offers great streaming real-time data powered by Reuters. You get great research and information behind there. So I really recommend that you try QuoteCenter. Take it for a test spin, see what you think. And I thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. If you do have any questions, please contact our sales department. You can also email us, sales@equus.com. So take advantage of QuoteCenter, try it out. If you want to try it with MetaStock as well, MetaStock is our real-time advanced analysis program for charting, so take it for a drive with that as well. But again, thank you for your time for watching this presentation, and if you have any questions, please let us know.